So tonight, I do have my pressing mat area ready to go. I am using the Cricut Easy Press Mini to do my pressing of my seams today, and I have my instructions that I printed out. Now, if you're doing Clue 1, keep in mind that there was not a misprint, but there was missing information in your clue if you're doing the small size, which is the one that I'm doing. So whenever you are getting ready to do Clue 1, make sure to go over to the Cotton Cuts secret Facebook group for the Puzzle Mystery Quilt and download the corrected instructions from Sheila. Sheila uploaded them into the group. So I printed off the correct instructions, and you can always watch this video as well, and it'll give you the right information. It's not a big deal what was missed, and it'll be covered here, so no big deal. So anyways, you'll need, of course, your clue, which tells you all the different pieces that are in this pack. And of course, we have our Cotton Cuts playing cards that they included in your package, which is awesome. These are fun. I like that they're getting customized with their gifts, and it really does fit the theme of this quilt. Put those off to the side and play poker later, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, here's our package. Clue number 1 labeled there on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and open mine, and we'll take a look at all the fabric and everything included in the pack, because usually they kind of maybe include a goodie or two in the first pack. We'll see. We did have, of course, the cards, but let's see if they include something else. Here's all of our fabric, and again, I'm doing Team Twister, so I have black fabric for fabric A, red fabric for B, blue fabric for C, green fabric for D, orange fabric for E, and a yellow fabric for F. So remember, you need to keep this card, because each time you do the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, you'll need to have this as your reference. It does have information about the Puzzle Mystery Quilt on the back. You also get this block of the month, and this is the Irish chain this month. And basically, it gives you an example of the block and then what you can do with that block in different patterns and everything. And on the back here, this is it's blank. So it's not picking up on camera, but this one is blank. So you can go through and color this in. And then if you post it on social media using hashtag #CCColorChallenge, you have the chance to win a prize from them. So make sure to fill that out and color it in. It's fun to color it in. I like doing that. All right, so we have our usual cardboard that gets put into every pack to make sure it's stabilized. Again, these are the instructions that they sent to me originally, but I'm going to be using the ones that I printed out because those have the updated information. All right, lots to go over. Here we go. Let's take a look at this month's colors and fabrics that we have available to pull from for this block. I always try to lay these out where everything can be seen all at the same time. It doesn't always work, but I try. All right, so here we go. Inside of our pack, we have 8 of the A fabric, 8 rectangles of the A fabric, 8 rectangles of the B fabric, 4 rectangles of the D fabric, 8 larger rectangles of the C fabric. We have 8 triangles of the C fabric, and we have 8 triangles of the E fabric. So it looks like we have A, B, C, D, and E, but no F in this package. So let's go ahead and flip over our instructions and take a look at what we're supposed to be doing. All right, so we're going to be starting off with fabric C and fabric E. So I'm going to go ahead and move all the rest of these off to the table behind me. It's much easier for me to put it back there and grab them whenever I need to. So I'm going to take everything else and put it back there. And since we have 8 of each of these fabrics, we can just go in, because this is join a small triangle of C and E and press towards C. This is the instruction that had the missing information. So it's going to be pressing towards C, which in my case is going to be my blue fabric. And we need to make 8 of these that measure 3.5 inches square. I'm not really great. I'm going to put picture in picture up so that way you can see me. I'm not really great at measuring, to be honest. I typically don't measure because I always end up working it out in the end. You should obviously, if it's like way off, then of course address that. But typically, if it's just a little bit off, it's no big deal. Also, all of your seam allowances are going to be 1/4 inch. So I have my sewing machine set up over here. I might twist the camera a little bit so that way you can see as I take everything to the sewing machine. Who is the fabric designer for Twister? That is her, Allison Glass. Allison Glass. I had it. I knew it was there. Allison Glass did the fabric for this colorway, and there were some really great colorways, to be honest, but this one spoke out to me the most. So, step 1, join the small triangles of C, and it actually should look like this because we have our fabric C down here and fabric E up there. Doesn't really matter because we're about to start sewing them together. So let's go ahead and sew them together. I'm going to move my camera so that way you can see my machine while I'm working on this. I am going to have my back to y'all. Sorry. We have just completed putting together the first one, which is C and E. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press towards E. So I have press towards C, which is my blue fabric. And I'm going to hold my blue fabric up, and you go up. When you're doing half square triangles, you go up first and then over to press them. And that helps square them up a little bit better. All right, so here is the first one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to join a rectangle, a C rectangle to the left of 4 of these units. So I'm going to separate out 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put the other ones behind me. And I'm going to grab 4 of my larger rectangles of C. 4 C and E half square triangles. And we're going to get our C rectangle. And we're going to attach it just like that. How easy is that? We can do that. So let's go back to the sewing machine. I'm going to go back to the sewing machine. All right, so now it says, this is the one that is correct. And it says to press towards rectangle of C. So again, I'm going to hold this up. And I'm just going to press it towards C. So this is what it's supposed to look like. For step 2, I did the rest wrong, which means I'll have to do everything else for the next step, the inverse, but that's okay. Like I said, we still have, not a big deal. This doesn't have to get ripped out since we're doing the exact same thing for the other ones. And this one has a little bit of a crease in it. I'm going to hit it with some flatter spray. If you've not used Flatter before, I do like their product. Not sponsored by them. Not they don't know that I'm using their product, especially on YouTube, but it really does help to flatten out when you make mistakes. Like if you fold it in the wrong place or you press it in the wrong place, really helps out with that. All right, so we have completed step 2, which is 4 of these CCE, and then we have 4 of these CCE in the other direction. So now we're going to set this aside. We're going to set both of those aside. And we're going to pick up our next direction, which is direction number 4. It says to join A, B, and D rectangles as shown, press to the right, which always gets me a little confused. I don't know if I'm supposed to be pressing to the right when I'm looking at the block or if it's upside down. That always confuses me. Not a huge deal. It's okay if you press it the wrong way. Okay, so press to the right. Make 4 of these, and it measures 8 by 5 inches. We're going to do that 4 times. So we need A, B, A, D, B. A, B, A, D, B. So for my colorway, it is black, red, green, red. Yeah, absolutely. Make sure to encourage each other. All right, so here we have, again, it's A, B, A, D, B. This really reminds me of like Price is Right. All right, let's do that 3 more times. Here we go. Remember, here is step. Maybe I should put this where you can actually see it. Here we go. Step 2. Step 3. And now we're going to put in step 4. So we're going to put that into the middle of it, just like this. So I'm going to do the top one first. And I'm going to put the bottom one on. what our block looks like when it's all said and done. And again, I'm going to press, let's see, press towards, let's see, okay, to the bottom. Oh, okay, all right. So the step 2 to the top and step 3 to the bottom, and press towards step 4. We're going to be pressing towards our inside. And you'll see that I'm overlapping a little bit. Not overlapping, I am a little far out on my left side here. So I'm a little far out, but that's okay. This is block number 1. Label all 4 of these as clue number 1, section 1, however you want to label them to remind yourself that this is the number 1. That was a struggle bus for me today, but I made it work. I'm so excited to see how this ends up coming together. I did it in just slightly over 1 hour, and I think if I didn't have all those problems going on, I would have been able to do it in under an hour. But lots of fun, and I can't wait to see the rest of these.